Okay, here's the syllabus for Math 14, sections 50 and 51 online, which is statistical methods for the summer of 2020. Here's the catalog description. This course is an introduction to descriptive and inferential statistics. Students can learn how to use measures of central tendency and dispersion among population samples to draw inferences about a population and to compare two or more populations. Discrete and continuous probability density distributions are analyzed, including the binomial, normal, student t, chi-squared, and F distributions. Confidence intervals for population means, proportions, and variance are determined. Additional topics include regression and correlation analysis and techniques of hypothesis testing, including analysis of variance, which is also called ANOVA. The course includes application of technology for statistical analysis and the interpretation of the relevance of the statistical findings. Applications use data from disciplines that includes business, social sciences, psychology, life sciences, health science, and education. And then here is the prerequisite. So it's Math 40 with a grade of C or better, or 2 years of high school algebra, elementary and intermediate algebra, with a grade of B or better within the last 3 years, or a math placement exam. The credit is 4 units. The time, day, and room of the meeting class, it is online, and the location of the class is online. I am your instructor, F. Anthony Siciliano, and there is my email address. My office is in room 212, and there's my telephone number. And here are the student office hours. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can see the times available. And then I'll be available during Zoom conference calls during that time. So if you want a specific question, then we can set up a Zoom conference for either of those times that are listed there. Now, the best way to reach me is email and must be your student email account. Always include your name and course. All email contact between students and instructors must be conducted using the student and instructor's CMC email accounts. For students, this is accessible via the My CMC portal on the CMC website. Any student email received by faculty from another email account cannot be responded to other than to remind the student to use their school email account. Please also keep in mind that grades cannot be distributed by phone, public posting, public announcement, or by email. The textbook for the class. The textbook is optional because an electronic version of the textbook is available in My Stat Lab. You do not have to purchase a textbook unless you choose to do so. What is required is the access code for My Stat Lab with online text. Sullivan-Woodbury Interactive Statistics Informed Decisions Using Data, 2nd edition, is available in the CMC bookstore or found online on the My Stat Lab website. Number 2, this is recommended. The guided notebook to accompany the interactive statistics. It's available for free and downloadable on Canvas, or you can purchase the loose leaf in the CMC bookstore. Now, this is available for free online, so you don't need to purchase it unless you want the actual book in your hand. Class participation. Optimal learning requires student participation in the online classroom as appropriate to the classroom activity. Participation includes such actions as responding to questions posed, actively contributing to the group discussions, and completion of assignments. The instructor will attempt to ensure all students have opportunities to express ideas, contribute to discussions, and receive additional information and clarification as needed. Instructor Communication, Information Participation, Guidelines, and Feedback Policy. Students are encouraged to send an email anytime 24/7, stop by my office if you are on campus, call my office, or leave voicemail messages. If I'm going to be away for an extended period of time and know in advance, I will let you all know in the announcement section of our course in Canvas. However, my policy is that I will usually respond within 12 to 24 hours except on weekends. Each week, I will provide grades or scores and comments on assignments within 4 to 6 days of when they were submitted. After I send feedback each week, you will receive notification through your email or in a classroom announcement that feedback has been sent. You can check grades for your feedback scores. As your instructor for this course, my goal is to facilitate your learning, answer questions, and encourage your participation. I'll respond in a timely manner on a consistent basis. I'll provide feedback in discussion forums, chats, and in the question and answer section of each unit you may want to discuss. I'll provide feedback on posts, responses, and assignments as appropriate in between 12 to 24 hours, except on weekends. Here are some examples of feedback responses that you can read when you're taking a look at the syllabus. Now here's your grading components for each particular part of the class. You're going to have interactive reading, homework, quizzes, and review assignments. That's 20% of your grade. You have projects. You have 2 projects. That's going to be 10% of your grade. You have stat talk discussions. You have 3 of them, which is 10% of your grade. You have 3 online exams, which are 40% of your grade. And then you have a final exam, parts 1 and 2, which represent 20% of your grade. And then there is the grading schedule underneath there. Grading scale, excuse me. Attendance. All students are expected to log in and complete some work at least once a week. Each week without work is considered absent from the 2 class meetings. A student who adds a class or registers after the first day of classes is counted absent from all weeks missed. In an effort to promote student success, CMC has approved the implementation of an instructor-initiated drop policy. When a student has been absent from classes to such an extent that his or her success is at risk, the instructor has the option of dropping the student. If a student has missed 12.5%, 5 classes, or 2.5 weeks of the semester without notifying the instructor with a satisfactory explanation, the student may be dropped by the instructor. This calculation includes absences occurring during add and drop period. As a result, you will negatively impact your group mates' grades if you fail to fully participate in each group discussion in a timely manner. Less than full participation in this course is extremely disruptive to the online learning model. So I reserve the right to drop you if, 1, you do not complete the online orientation assignment. By earning 100% on the orientation assignment, you'll have as many attempts as you need. 2, you fail to make any progress for 4 or more consecutive days, including weekends. 3, you do not fully participate in 3 or more group discussions. 4, you fail to take the final exam as scheduled in class. Per the college's attendance policy, faculty has the right to develop a more stringent policy as well. Students who do not attend or participate in class by the deadline to drop for tuition refund may be deleted from the course. In this class, we function as a team, teaching and learning together in small groups that are reorganized from one module to the next. However, if you quit participating in this class, you should not assume that I will drop you. Should you choose to drop, ultimately it is your responsibility to officially withdraw. Materials. A calculator will be a necessary tool for this course. Only devices that are specifically math calculators will be allowed for tests. Cell phones, laptops, etc. are not allowed, and each student must have their own calculator. Texts, notebook, pencil, and a good attitude are also necessary. Work must be completed in pencil. A Texas Instruments TI-30 is an excellent non-graphing calculator that will be sufficient for homework and exams and has limited but useful statistical capability. Now, a graphing calculator is recommended but not required. So a Texas Instrument TI-83 or 84 are good graphing calculators that have extensive statistical capability. They are considerably more expensive, but you can find cheaper versions online for a graphing calculator TI-83 and 84. Now, as part of the website that you'll be using for your homework, you're going to have a statistical package called StatCrunch. We will be using the data analysis package StatCrunch in this course. StatCrunch is an online data analysis tool and much more. The URL for the program is the following. Included in your subscription to MyMathLab is the cost of StatCrunch. So we'll be using StatCrunch to obtain statistical results. So when you purchase the access code for MyStatLab, it includes StatCrunch. So you're not paying additionally for it. It is all bundled together. Now, course grading and information. This course is delivered through an online course management system called MyStatLab. Within MyStatLab, there is the online and interactive text. Since the website does not have a physical textbook to access, I have provided an online text in a PDF format located in the modules on Canvas. Each chapter of the text that we are going to study has 3 parts described below. Registration and video instructors are also located on Canvas. The assignments are graded automatically by the website and then synced to Canvas. Part 1, Interactive Reading Assignments, or IRA. The IRA is where the course content is delivered to you via reading assignments, video presentations, examples, which are also with video solutions, interactive activities, and assessment questions. You earn points by watching videos and completing the activities. You begin each section by working through the IRA and filling in the guided notebook, which you'll see below. Some of the IRA's examples will have multiple video solutions. In this case, you should watch the StatCrunch or the TI-83-84 Plus video solutions. Part 2. Once you've completed the interactive reading assignments, then you'll proceed to the section homework. Upon completion of the section's IRA, you should jump to the section's homework. So for example, in Chapter 1, you should begin with Section 1.1 by reading the IRA and then proceed to the 1.1 homework. To move from the IRA in a section to the online homework for the sections, you must get at least 70% on the IRA interactive reading assignment for that section. In other words, for example, in order to do the online homework for Section 1.1, you must receive at least 70% for the IRA for Section 1.1. Problems can be worked on until a correct answer is obtained. Part 3. The end of chapter review quiz. Each of these quizzes are located at the conclusion of each chapter and included in your overall grade. So all assignments above, parts 1, 2, and 3, are located on my Stat Lab and are due the day of the exam. Please review the late penalty policy further below in the syllabus. Stat Talk discussion questions. Now for some weeks, you will be required to answer discussion questions located on Canvas. Sometimes you may have to refer to a video located on my Stat Lab. Statistician Andrew Vickers takes the streets of Brooklyn, New York to demonstrate important statistical concepts through interesting stories and real-life events. These series of videos will help you understand statistics. After viewing each video, you are required to respond to 2 initial responses to a discussion question and at least 2 reply comments to your peers or to your own initial response, posted throughout the week. You should respond in complete sentences and in your own words. You are expected to answer all of them and get most of them correct. Any mistakes should be corrected once you have reviewed the posts of the instructor and your peers. You must post your initial thread and replies before the deadline. Description of each discussion question is located in the modules on Canvas. So here are the weeks for when Stat Talk discussion questions are due. So you're going to have 3 of them, week 2, week 4, and week 6, and they're due on the Sunday. But you do not want to wait until that day, because in order to complete the discussion questions, you have to have all students working as a team to be able to answer those questions. You also have projects. You are required to do 2 applied real-world data analysis projects. The first project is a data analysis comparison report where you collect, analyze, and compare 2 quantitative data sets. The final project will be to collect and analyze data and perform a research hypothesis test to answer an important question about the world around us. For both projects, you will make PowerPoint slides to explain your results and findings. See the tentative schedule for the due dates. Description of each project is located in modules on Canvas. So here are the due dates for the projects. On Canvas, I also post examples of each project's of students' prior work, and you'll be able to look at those and then to determine how to go about finishing each project. Exams. There will be 3 online exams plus a comprehensive final exam, part 1 and 2. The final exam can replace your lowest test score using the following approach. It is my policy to replace a student's lowest test score with the final exam at the end of the course. For this reason, I do not give makeup tests. A missed test will be recorded as a 0 and then replaced accordingly at the end of the semester. Missing the final will also result in a 0, and I do not drop this grade. The instructor has a right to make adjustments to this policy under special circumstances. Please make note, there are no extensions for exams, no exceptions. So again, let me repeat. Okay, now the final exam, okay, can replace your lowest test score. So what that means is, out of all the exam scores, if one of them is lower than what you receive on the final exam score, I replace one of your test scores with the final exam score, provided that that final exam score is higher than your lowest test score. So here are the exam deadlines, and then here's the final exam deadlines. You have final exam part 1, which is on Canvas, and then you have final exam part 2, which is on My Stat Lab. Now, due dates, late penalties, and technical difficulties. All interactive homework, quizzes, review assignments, and stat discussion questions have the following late penalty policy. Students submitting work for course assignments after the due date are subject to a penalty of 5% of the points possible for the assignment per day, for each day passing after the due date. For example, submissions posted after the due date within 24 hours of the date assignment is due will be penalized 5% of the potential value of the assignment. Submissions posted between 24 and 48 hours after the due date may be penalized by up to 10%, etc. So due dates will not be extended because of technical difficulties. The deadlines on these assignments are not extended, and you must make plans to complete these. Due dates for online assignments are clearly stated in My Stat Lab. Homework, study tips, homework videos. Now, you're provided with a guided notebook. Now, this is an activity manual located on Canvas that you can access, download, and print. This is a place where you can take notes on the information given in the interactive reading assignment lectures by filling in all the information from the slides in the notebook. This will be a valuable resource for you as you work through the online homework assignment for each section, as well as the quizzes and tests over the corresponding material. Pay close attention to the homework videos located on Canvas. This will be helpful to you as you move along with your homework assignments. So again, I highly recommend that you download and print the guided notebook. All the students that have completed this class in previous assignments have done extremely successful by filling in the guided notebook. The guided notebook is an outline of what you see in your lecture videos. So you're able to have those as you move along the course, and when you start doing your homework, you'll have all those notes available for you. Here are the student learning outcomes. Upon successful completion of the class, the students will be able to describe, graph, calculate, and analyze statistical quantities and concepts, including data types, levels of measurement, sampling strategies, frequency distributions, parameters, and descriptive statistics. Determine the probability of an event. Use various distributions to estimate parameters for populations using samples, and formulate and test a hypothesis, including ANOVA. And analyze and make predictions for paired data using the linear correlation coefficient, linear regression, standard error, prediction interval, explained variation, unexplained variation, and total variation. And these outcomes will be assessed by questions on the quizzes, tests, and final exam. Now here's a tentative schedule. The course schedule may change at the discretion of the instructor. However, students will be notified in writing when any additions are made to the schedule. So please pay close attention to the tentative schedule. Here's week 1. Here is the course content that you should be going over in week 1. You have course information and orientation. So you have an orientation assignment, which is due on Wednesday, June 17th by 11:59 p.m. And then you have an introduction discussion, which is then due on June 21st at 11:59 p.m. And then here are the sections that you must complete, sections 1.1 to 2.2 for this week. So you want to make sure that you're completing them and keeping on task for each week. Now week 2, you will see that we're covering these sections, 2.3 all the way to 3.5. And so at the end of week 2, exam 1 is going to be due on Sunday, June 28th, 11:59 p.m., which is going to be on my stat lab. Now, exam 1 can be taken any time once you've completed all these sections. Now again, I list them for each week because this is where you should be completing those. Okay. Now, all these assignments, sections 1.1 to 3.5, are due on the day of the exam, which is Sunday, June 28th. But that doesn't mean to wait until then to complete your assignments. Okay, so what that means is if you're asking me to extend the assignments, but you haven't completed the assignments on that day, again, those assignments are due the day of June 28th. So you have all these assignments to work on and have them completed by Sunday. So my recommendation is to work ahead as soon as you can so that you complete all the assignments so that you can study and prepare for the exam. Okay, so also during week 2, you have your first Stat Talk discussion 1, and this is going to be located on Canvas. Okay, so during week 2, you should be answering the questions in the Stat Talk discussions, and you'll see the instructions for that in the modules, and that is also due on June 28th at 11:59 p.m. And then if you take a look at week 3, you have these sections, and then you have Project 1. So now Project 1 is going to be due on Sunday, which is July 5th. And again, there'll be instructions on Canvas for that. And then on week 4, you will see all the sections that need to be completed, and you have Exam 2. So again, you want to make sure that all your assignments are completed and done by Sunday, July 12th, and you can take your Exam 2 anytime prior to July 12th. It is due that day. And on week 4, you have Stat Talk Discussion 2, which is also due July 12th. And then week 5, you will see all these sections that are going to need to be covered for week 5. In week 6, you have Exam 3 that's going to cover everything up to from Chapter 7 to Chapter 9. And again, that Exam 3 is due Sunday, July 26th. And then you also have these sections during that week. And then you also have Stat Talk Discussion Question 3, which is the final one, which is due July 26th. And then week 7, which is the final week, Project 2 is due on July 30th, in addition to Final Exam Part 1, which is on Canvas, and Final Exam Part 2, which is on my Stat Lab. Now again, these are the due dates for July 30th. It doesn't mean that you wait until then to complete that. So again, pace yourself throughout the course, because again, this is a 7-week course. And so you want to make sure that you're staying on top of everything to be able to complete your assignments. Now, students with disabilities. Access. Students with disabilities, whether physical, learning, or psychological, who may need academic support in the classroom, are encouraged to contact Access as soon as possible to ensure that appropriate accommodations and/or services are implemented. Further information about this program may be found on Copper Mountain College's website and in the Office of Student Services at the Access counter. Please visit CMC's Access website for more information. Military-friendly statement. Veterans and active duty military personnel with special circumstances, upcoming deployments, drill requirements, disabilities are welcome and encouraged to communicate these in advance if possible to the instructors. So make sure you communicate with me as soon as possible for any of special circumstances. Okay, equal opportunity statement. Copper Mountain College is committed to equal employment opportunity for all persons and to provide educational and employment opportunities free from discrimination on the basis of ethnic group identification, national origin, religion, age, veteran status, sex, race, color, ancestry, sexual orientation, or physical or mental favors, and other physical or verbal conduct or communication constituting sexual harassment. Disclaimer. Changes in curriculum, grading standards, and other requirements could change as necessary. It is the student's responsibility to know and understand all policies, procedures, and requirements for Copper Mountain College and this class. Any concerns should be directed to your instructor, the appropriate department chair, or college administrator in that order. Information in the syllabus is subject to change. Any important changes will be announced in class, and you'll be provided with an updated syllabus. Now again, here's online classroom communication, netiquette, ground rules for online discussions. I highly recommend that you take the time to take a look through this on your syllabus and make sure that you're reading through that for the particular ground rules for online discussions and communication. Okay, and then also here's another statement on plagiarism and academic misconduct. Academic misconduct includes but not limited to the following actions: cheating on an examination or quiz, either giving or receiving information, copying information from another person for grade assignments, using unauthorized materials during tests, collaboration during examinations, by selling or stealing examinations. Okay, so ultimately what I want to say here is that, okay, when you're turning in your assignments, you're turning in your assignments through My Stat Lab. Okay, when you're turning in your projects, please make sure that your projects are yours. Okay, so when you're turning in your projects, please be careful of that and make sure that those are specifically your projects when you're turning them in addition to any other assignments. So again, here, faculty members who have reliable evidence of academic misconduct will investigate the matter and then review the facts of the matter and the proposed penalty with the appropriate academic dean. They may then take one or more of the following actions: require the work to be accomplished again, give no credit for the test, paper, or exercise, or assign a grade of F or W for the course. And then if you look at the last page covers all the sections that we're covering for this class. And that concludes the syllabus information.